everyone. Today we are here to present on integration of generative AI within Sitecore, enhancing digital experiences and content creation. So we all know that Sitecore is a leading platform in composable DXP world with its various SaaS offerings that provides customers to create the connected experience for their end users. On the other hand, generative AI is a simulation of human intelligence in machines. So considering these two leading technologies in their domain, the agenda of this session is to showcase how generative AI and Sitecore can combine power of generative AI and Sitecore to enhance the digital experiences and improve the content creation process. This session will be presented by us. I am Khushboo, currently working as Associate Technology Lead at Horizontal. I have 9 years of experience of working on various Sitecore products. I have been titled as Sitecore Technology MVP 2 times, and I like to share my knowledge on my blog at Sitecore Corner. I have with me Priyanka.
Hello everyone. As Khushboo told, I am Priyanka, a passionate web developer having experience of 5 years, including 1 year of experience in Sitecore at Horizontal Digital. You can find me at this LinkedIn profile. We are very thrilled to be here amongst fellow Sitecore enthusiasts. Let's delve into the digital innovation and shape the future together.
In this session, we will talk about what generative AI is and what are its capabilities. We will also talk about how generative AI can power the content management systems like Sitecore, concluding the session with the use case demo of 2 use cases and the broadened implementations of the same, and lastly Q&A.
So let's start with the most trending technology that we have right now, which is changing our lives. So let's imagine if computers could do things just like humans do, but without having their own thoughts and feelings. That's what all about generative AI. Generative AI is changing the game right now, as it's allowed the computers to have their own creative ideas and content, which was generally and traditionally was done by humans only. And it's very exciting as computers come up with creative ideas and whole fresh bunch of content and written augmentation, simplification texts that we might not have thought of. So this is what all about generative AI is, and the image depicting the same. If we go ahead, like we are talking about this trending technology, let's see what generative AI is right now doing in the market. So basically, generative AI is providing us 4 tools, having started with visuals. Visual tools has the capability of generating images, then they have the capability of generating videos, and also design generators, which basically create the visual effects, then videos, and creative pictorial formats of images. Then we have audios. Audios has the capability of generating some kind of tunes, then music. It can also allow us, like my voice can be depicted in a beautiful song. Then we have text generators and code generators. Text generators are basically like what we are focusing on, and the code generators are basically helping the developers with code snippets every now and then when we have to scratch our heads when we are developing something. If we delve into text and code generators basically have the capability of written content augmentation and creation, and also summarizing and simplification of the text that it is generating. Then also AI has the capability of answering all the questions that humans have, like they have the base of whole lot of content present over the web, and they can answer any of the questions and discoveries using their use cases and their author depicting technologies. Also, AI has the capability of translating any content in any language which they are generating basically. And also, AI has the capability of enhancing the performance of a chatbot, which we are using right now in various websites. As AI can depict and communicate to a human just like we are communicating it to a human only, rather than just a bot answering some questions. So AI can enhance the power of chatbots also. Also, as we are discussing some these of the capabilities of AI, let's see some of the leaders which are providing AI capabilities into the market right now. Obviously, at the top, we have OpenAI leading the market. OpenAI is like basically focused on content generation and editing, basically providing it through their 3 top models. These are GPT-3 and GPT-4, which we might all have heard of, and we have the hands-on experience of it through ChatGPT. And then it has DALL-E. DALL-E is basically, like DALL-E can generate images through the keywords which we are providing them. The user provides the keywords and DALL-E can generate images, dynamic images. Then we have Google entering the market basically through Bard, and Google is focused on generative AI model development. Also, they are focused on application development also. Then we have Microsoft. Microsoft has entered the market through content generation, but right now they are focused on code development as well as cyber security through GitHub Copilot. I think some of the developers might have explored GitHub Copilot. Also, Microsoft is providing us AI-enhanced Bing and Edge browsers. Like we might have browsed something over the edge and see how it is changing the browsing experience over the world right now. And as we all are talking about the leading tech providers here, this list is like literally growing right now because AI is trending and everyone is exploring it. So there are some predictions going on about AI in the market, and if you see this chart, we have already discussed what AI is doing in 2023, and we all are exploring as it's trending. So 2023 is pretty much clear. But if we go to 2025, we can see that text generation capabilities of AI will enhance, and they can generate some drafts like human. Then we have code snippets, like by 2025, right now AI is able to generate code snippets only. But by 2025, AI will be able to generate some coding programs as well, which we can compile and run as and go. Then AI, in 2025, AI will be able to generate final drafts of images, some architectural images and etc. based on what keywords we are providing and what concept we have in our mind. If we go to 2030, so if you see here, if we go to 2030, it says that for text generation capabilities of AI, AI will be able to generate drafts of content better than professional writers. Then for code generation capabilities, 2030 prediction says that AI will be able to code better than a full-time developer. A controversial statement, but we'll see that. And as I have already explored this topic since 2 months, I highly doubt that. Then if we go to image creation capabilities, right now AI is not able to create pictorial format, flow diagrams, flow charts, and etc. It just creates a pictorial format of a keyword or a concept. But if we go to 2030, AI will be able to generate pictorial formats, flow charts, and etc. in image category. And also some predictions says that AI will be able to generate video and music compositions with their integration, and we can have a movie created, the movie whole created by AI. So that's amazing. As we have already discussed so much about AI, what it has the capabilities, what it can do, let's delve into Sitecore and see how Sitecore can utilize these capabilities of AI and generate some major content out of it. Let's Khushboo talk about it.
So we are talking about the composable for a while now, and we all know that Sitecore is a global leader in providing the end-to-end user experience via their composable stack. And it really makes flexible to integrate any generative AI model into any of the Sitecore products. So let's talk about few of the example of such integration. One example could be integrating ChatGPT from OpenAI into Sitecore's Content Cloud solutions like Content Hub 1, and XM Cloud. This will make content authors' life very easy because as Priyanka already talked about the capabilities of OpenAI, this will provide content authors to leverage the capabilities within CMS itself. And another example would be integrating DALL-E into the content cloud solutions, which will allow content authors to generate the creative images based on their ideas. So considering this, we have also implemented 2 use cases, one for content authors and another for the end user experiences and developers. So first let's talk about how AI can help content authors. So let's talk about what content authors are doing currently. So currently the content creation process is time consuming. Basically when content authors want to create a content for any trending topics in the market, they have to research about that topic first, then they have to create the rich content about that topic, then connect with other people for the review and approval of that content, and content moderation and translation processes based on need. But in the AI powered world, this can be less time consuming compared to what content authors are currently doing. So they can directly leverage all the capabilities of content generation into the CMS itself. So and we can see how this can change their lives in a different way. So now let's talk about what we have implemented as part of our use case for content authors. So first let's talk about the use case. So we have integrated two features of generative AI, content generation and content translation into the XM Cloud. So we have built two scenarios for content creation, one for creating the content for any component like promo that can be used on a website to promote any event, and another scenario for generating the content of OG tags, which will help content authors to share their content on the social media platform, and content translation for translating the content from English to any other language. So before talking about this flow diagram, let's talk about what products or technologies we have used. So again, we have used the XM Cloud, and we all know what XM Cloud is. Basically it is an enterprise CMS provided by Sitecore. Then OpenAI, Priyanka already talked about the capabilities of OpenAI. So their two trending models are ChatGPT and DALL-E. GraphQL, it is a basically query language which allows to fetch the content or data, and then Sitecore Connect. Sitecore Connect provides various connectors to connect the third party systems into various Sitecore products. Now let's talk about this flow diagram. So as I mentioned, we have integrated two features, content generation and content translation. So we have provided those commands to content authors through webhook actions with workflow. So this webhook is a functionality of and we have created a workflow for content authors that provides two commands. Whenever content author executes any of this command, it will call the webhook recipe created in the Sitecore Connect, and then Sitecore Connect will provide those keywords provided by content authors to the API of OpenAI, and once we receive the response from the API, we will call the XM Cloud authoring API using the GraphQL connector, and that will basically update the content back into the XM Cloud. So you might be thinking why we have used the Sitecore Connect here. So as we know, OpenAI provides the APIs to leverage the functionality of generative AI, and we can call that API directly into the XM Cloud application. But here Sitecore Connect already provides the connector for OpenAI. So why would we do that code ourselves, right? We can use the Sitecore Connect's connector to call the OpenAI APIs. And another is we have used the XM Cloud authoring APIs. So Sitecore Connect also provides the connector for GraphQL, which makes easy to call those API as well. So that's why here we have introduced the Sitecore Connect in our use case. Now let's see this in action. So this is a Sitecore Cloud portal where we have Connect, and we are using this application of XM Cloud, which is already open here. Now consider the use case that I am a content author and I want to create a promo component to promote SUGCON India 2023 event on my website. So basically content author will create a page here. and then let's assign the promo component on this page. And now let's create the data source item for this component. So this is the data source item that I created right now. Here you can see we have keywords, title and content. So this keywords field is basically allowing content authors to provide the keywords to OpenAI, so that based on that we can generate the content. One more thing, I mentioned that we have used the workflow webhook actions. So if we go here in review, we can see there are two commands available, generate content and translate. So these workflows are created in system. So we have content generation workflow here, where in the draft mode, so when content authors create the data source item, it will be in the draft mode and it will provide two commands to content authors. So basically this is my command, and in my command here we have created the webhook submit action. So basically in this webhook submit action we are calling the API that we have created in our XM Cloud Next.js application. And what we are doing in this API, so basically whenever, so I will go back to here on keyword. So as I mentioned, let's say I want to promote the SUGCON India event. So my keywords are SUGCON India 2023. Now when content authors execute, I will show you this in action, but let's first understand the flow. So when content authors executes this one, it will call basically this API. This is basically the Next.js API in our Next.js application. So here you can see we have the content API, where basically we get the webhook response, and in that webhook response we are reading the keywords, and then we are calling the webhook recipe that is created in the Sitecore Connect. So let's first see what we have done in the Sitecore Connect. So if you remember, we mentioned that we have created, like we have used the GraphQL and OpenAI connectors in the Sitecore Connect. So basically to start utilizing those connectors, first we have to create the connection in the Sitecore Connect. So here this is our project where we have created all our recipes and connection. So first connection is a connection with the GraphQL authoring API, XM Cloud GraphQL authoring API. Here basically we have provided the GraphQL endpoint and the token, bearer token, that will allow us to talk with the XM Cloud. And then another connection is connection with the OpenAI. So here this one. So here basically we just have to provide the API key, and this API key we can generate through the OpenAI platform. So here to connect with the OpenAI we need to provide the key. Now let's go back to the project, and as I said, we have created the recipes. So basically these are the webhook recipes. Let's see generate content recipe. So here you can see this is our webhook trigger, and this is the URL webhook address that we are calling through our Next.js API. And in this webhook recipe, our first step is to read the keywords that content author has provided in the Sitecore, and then provide those keyword to the OpenAI API. So here we are using the single message API, and in content we are sending those keywords so that based on that it can generate the content. Once that content is generated, so here if I go to the promo component, there we have two fields, title and content. So basically in recipe, first we are generating the heading and then the description for that provided keywords. Then once we receive the response from the API, we are performing GraphQL query where we have used the update item mutation, and here we have provided the required variables, and here you can see the title field where we are providing the heading variable. Basically this heading variable contains the response generated from the OpenAI, and the content field that is reading the value from the description variable, and it contains the response received from the OpenAI. Once this GraphQL query is performed, we can see that data is added back to the XM cloud. Now let's see this in action. So I will go to the edit recipe and I will run this recipe in test mode. So let's go back to the content editor. I have already provided the keywords here, and now I will click on the generate content command. Once this command is executed, we can here see that trigger found and processing recipe. So here we can see the recipe was executed successfully. Now let's see output of each field. So here in response we got the title, and in this response of this call we got some description for our promo content, and then lastly the GraphQL call where we have the item in the response. Now if we go back to the content editor and see here, the content is updated in the XM cloud automatically. So this was the first scenario that we have created. Now let's see the content translation. So first let's see the API, the recipe for that one. I'll go back to my project in Sitecore Connect, and this is our translate content using OpenAI. It is basically the same. So here again this is a webhook trigger with this URL which we call through the webhook action in XM Cloud, and here the required parameters are language to translate, then item ID for which we are translating the content. And basically what we are doing here, so if I trigger the translate command on this item, we have two content related fields available, title and content. So basically we are dynamically getting the fetching the fields that are single line or multi-line type of fields, content type of fields, and we are providing those fields to recipe, and for each of this field the content will be translated into the given language. And once the content is translated, we are performing the GraphQL query again to feed that data back to the XM cloud. So here we already have the content in English language. Now I will go to the French language and let's create the version for this language. Once the language version is created, trigger the translate command. Here we can see the trigger found and the processing recipe. So the recipe was successfully executed, and now let's see here. So now here you can see the content is translated into the French language version. The last scenario of this use case is, as I mentioned, for content generation we have implemented two scenarios. One was for generating the content for promo component that we already shown, and another is generating the content for the OG tags. So here I would take the example of, let's say I want to promote the exhibition of Indian art culture on social media. So in OG title, basically these are my keywords that we will send an API, open AI, and so before triggering this command, let's go back to my project, and here we have created the third recipe for creating the generate for OG tags. Basically it is same, it is fetching the keywords and generating the content for OG title and OG description fields, and then performing the GraphQL query to update the content in XM Cloud. I forgot to put this in test mode, so let's do that first. So in real case scenario, this recipes would be already in the running mode, but here in our demo we have not put in the running mode, so we are running this into the test scenarios. So let's trigger this command again. Yes, now let's see the response here. So we have the description generated for my exhibition of Indian art culture that now content authors can directly use for promoting this. Now, like we already talked about what generative, like how generative AI can help content authors. Now let's see what we have implemented for end user experiences and developers in our second use case.
Yeah, this was a seamless use case and demo, I think, with the limitations of the screen, but I think hope you enjoyed the demo. Let's talk about how AI can help the end users as well as the developers. Can you raise the hands, like how many people are present over here who are developers? Oh, majority are developers, but okay, others please don't feel left out. Let's categorize our audience into developers and others who are not developers. Let's assume you are a end user. As in our day-to-day life, we all are browsing some websites and we are browsing apps and everything like daily. So I want you all to have the developer and end user perspective in your mind, and let's imagine some cases that I am saying right now. So let's assume we as a user is browsing in a website where they have to apply some filters, and then based on that filters they can see the filtered content based on those filters they have provided. Basically like example which we in daily e-commerce websites we use them, right? Then another example, like if we are on a website and we have to fill a questionnaire over there, what happens is business or the developers pre-fed the users the examples or the options which a user can feed like fill for that answer. Like we usually if a developer or business has to generate some stats, then have some predictions about the answers which users are providing, they don't usually give the users the option to dynamically answer that question. They have to give them the options only through which a user can choose the answer from them. Having these two examples in our mind, the developers know how complex it is to develop these use case scenarios. Like we have to give users only those limited filters which we have, and based on those filters only a user can filter the data and see the content over there. Same exactly with the questionnaire. User can't answer those questions dynamically. He or she has to use the options only. And based on like generating the predictions and stats over through it, developers has like their life is like hell. They have to do complex programming, they have to implement some if-else loops and or more like a complex programming and generate stats out of that. And like right now I'll say that if a user, like if we have a questionnaire and having a dynamic answers over there, we can generate stats like precise stats out of it. Now see how generative AI can enter this picture and ease the life of end users as well as the developers. So for demonstrating that, we have developed a small POC here, which basically shows like how SUGCON site can be enhanced through AI. So for this POC, we have developed, like this is the flow diagram, pretty much simple. Like we have taken a headless application of XM Cloud through which it calls the REST APIs of OpenAI, basically using the GPT 3.5 model of OpenAI. And it gives the responses which we pretty much show to the head application, that's it. So for showing that, let's switch to the demo and see it in working. Yeah, so this is like we have tried to mimic the site of SUGCON India 2023. So in the header we can already see the agendas and the speakers here, and like as we are proudly representing horizontal, I have added horizontal homepage over here. So let's assume right now in the audience we have some speakers and we have some registers like visiting the site. Through these 2 days we have rigorously visited the site to see the agendas and which sessions we want to like see, and like let's assume I'm on the site, and let's enter the AI world here. Right now, like as I already told, we have 2 kind of audiences over here, like speakers and then of course the visitors. So let's see like how speakers can leverage the AI here. So let's assume I am a speaker right now and I came to the SUGCON site. I have seen the agendas, I have seen all the speakers, and like I am feeling nervous. I don't know I am or not, but let's say I am feeling nervous and I came to the site and I want like AI to help me about that. So let's ask the AI. Let's ask AI how it helps me, and also see how much time OpenAI takes to give the response. Okay, I have a punch here. Ye lenge hamari job. Like it's already 3 seconds and the response has not come yet. Yeah, the response came. Okay, it's congratulating me. And then AI has given me some of the pointers how I can like give my presentation, how I can design my presentation slides and everything. Yeah, this is good, right? So like this is what like pretty much simple question answer scenarios like what AI can answer. But let's go back to the use cases or the scenarios I was saying about the filters over an e-commerce site or the questionnaire. For that, we have to feed the AI some data, right? How AI will answer based on my website or my business logic. We have to feed AI, right? Then only it can respond and generate responses based on my requirements or my website requirements. So for that, we can use any of the Sitecore product. We can get their data sources, get those data and send it to the OpenAI REST APIs. It will store the data. It can be in any format, a JSON or any other format, we can give it, and it will generate the responses based on the data we have fed them. So this is what exactly AI does, and based on that, any user or anyone can answer AI about the data which we have provided and anything, and AI will respond to it. So right now as we are here, and obviously again I am representing horizontal proudly, so let's ask AI about all the sessions that horizontal is taking right now in the SUGCON. Let's see how much time it will take to respond. Okay, it has given me. So yeah, We had this session by Sheetal and George yesterday, and every session, like they have given our session 2, which is happening right now. So this is the response. So in this case scenario, we have already, like if I go into the code, we have provided REST API calls the prefed JSON which we have created based on the speakers and the agendas we have for SUGCON 2023 right now happening, and based on that it calls the REST APIs and GPT 3.5 Turbo model of OpenAI, and it creates the response based on that. Also some exceptions that we have handled. Yeah, pretty much this. So this was a small POC that we have created, but as I have presented it in some imagination powers, like you might be thinking of like very much implementation that you all can implement over it, like all the developers can implement over it. So let's see like what broadened implementations or extensions of our use case in the POC we can implement, right?
So let's talk about the broadened implementations of the use cases that we have implemented. So these features of content generation can be integrated directly into Sitecore pages. We all know Sitecore pages, how powerful Sitecore pages is, and it basically provides interface to content authors to generate the pages, design the pages within that interface itself. So imagine how easy it would be for content authors to have those features directly integrated into Sitecore pages. We can integrate this into Content Hub as well. We can leverage this features to generate meta tags and SEO friendly contents. Then we can integrate DALI from OpenAI into Sitecore Content Hub to generate the creative images that was already shown by Gautam and Tushar, so they implemented it very well. And lastly, a dynamic questionnaire can be built on a website specific to their domain, that and we can feed data to AI. Based on that, it will generate the responses.
Okay, as we are at the end of our session, I want to conclude it by this old saying by Alan Turing. You might have read it somewhere down your journey. So basically, Alan Turing has created an imitation game called Turing Test, which basically examines the capability of a machine to exhibit the behavior of a human. So that was the test he has created. And in 2014, Eugene Goostman, a chatbot, has passed this test. It was in 2014. It passed this test, and like that chatbot has convinced some human judges that it was a 13-year-old Ukrainian boy. Cut down to 2023, we all know what generative AI is right now doing in the market, basically providing content generation capabilities, and what's the best in the market right now other than Sitecore for doing and handling that. So this is what pretty much we have shared in our session. So like if you have any questions, like first of all, before opening the window for questions, we want to say that if you want to discuss about our further implementations and like how we can leverage this functionality or our use case, we will be available at horizontal booth and we can discuss this further. Also, these are our social handles that you can reach out to us over there. And we are very grateful for all of you to be present over here and listening to us for these 45 or 40 minutes. Yeah, any further questions? Yeah. You can like, yeah, execution will be yours, but yeah, you can train the AI to do your job effectively. Yeah.
I think I saw you guys last night in the garden preparing. That's the planning AI cannot do. Sitting in a garden talking and still preparing, and the execution that you do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, AI can't sit in the garden whole night and prepare for the session. Yeah, we can do that. Like, I agree to the point because, we all have, like, all the businesses have their legal team, and they don't want to expose all the data to the AI. Like even if you ask ChatGPT about even if you ask ChatGPT about your LinkedIn profile, it will not create content out of it. It will not summarize it for you because that is your private data. Hence, if we are using OpenAI REST APIs over here, we have to limit it, and like we are only developing it. So we can regulate that what content we are feeding it to generate the resources or responses out of it, and we can control that as a business logic. And while we are developing it, we can set the whole example, and we can just feed and regulate it, like how we can how we want to generate the responses, and for which modules we want to generate the like content and responses. Yeah.
Yes, and we use the example of workflows, right? So there we can also add the review process where like before publishing the content, there would be a review process, and the compliance team or whatever team is, they will review the content before making it live on the website. So there we can add another step for review.